Okay, you're here because you love to stitch, right? You love your fabric, you love your stash. It's growing quite nicely. In fact, maybe a little bit too well. You have the afternoon to yourself and you're ready to dive in. But then, well, brick wall really. You know, what shall I sew? What shall I use? Well, where do I start? It doesn't have to be this difficult, does it? Why don't you try my way? If you do, you never know. You may never be stuck for inspiration again. So I do get asked sometimes, especially if somebody's seen a haul video, what I'm going to do with all those bits and pieces. And I think one of the better ways to show you really is to show you something halfway through. Now these are bits which I've started, not completed yet, but I thought I'd show you from the beginning really, you know, how I even get to this from this. Now this is my very expensive storage system that I've said about before. For me, a cardboard box, an old box, just does exactly what I need it to. So in here I've just been putting over, you know, the course of several months, a couple of things might have even, you know, I've had them for years and years and years, some of the bits, but if I just put them together, a little box, then it really does help me when it comes to using them. So this bit here is very nice, but I don't think I've actually used it on anything else yet, not until this week when I started making these little bits. I love it, I really do. I love the colours more than anything, but it's a bit kind of twee if it was the whole thing for me. So I've put it in this box with other things. What's this one? This one is right, okay, 100% cotton. So the fact that it has the label there would mean to me, all these little tiffles look, would mean to me that it's an underskirt. But look at that colour, isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love that, really really do. One of the things that I do tend to do is sometimes I'll just tear strips off things. It's not that I'm wanting to waste the fabric, but it's just so much easier to kind of, I don't know, plan with things, isn't it? So if you know, have little bits, you can place them around a bit easier. Anyway, so what's this one? A bit of a bottom of a petticoat by the look of it. It's very white in comparison, but sometimes you need that, don't you? Sometimes you need a little bit of sort of brightness in it. Oh, I've just seen something else on my shelf as well. I can see this one here goes really well with the whole box, doesn't it? But I'm not going to keep that in there because I just like that one out. I love it. Right, so this piece here, just a piece of linen. It feels really nice. It's very stiff. I think it's proper linen, and it has a beautiful fray along there. Look, looks like that was the original selvage, is it? I don't know. But it's really lovely, that one, and perfect colours for this, I'd say, wouldn't you? This one is not quite the same in colours, but I've left it in there because it's an old French piece of a quilt. I don't actually like the blue on it. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, I like it, but I don't love it. Don't know why. But it's just because of the blue. So I've put it in here because then when I use it, I'll just cover up the blue bits, that's all. These bits don't matter too much, but I'm not so keen on the bright blue. You often find that, don't you, that you'll like 90% of something, but there's something that really sort of jars. And this one, it's like a, I don't know, poplin or something. Looks like it was part of an old skirt, and this came to me in these pieces. So I didn't ever have the original item, but aren't they gorgeous? Look at how the colours go. Just brilliant, isn't it? I love how they go together. What's this? Oh yeah, when I was saying about sometimes I've said that I've you know, I just tear strips off things because it makes it easier then to place it around, and it does, doesn't it? So where's that little piece? So that one there, look, if you have it in smaller pieces, it's just easier to play with, isn't it? And that one again, so I have the big piece there, but I've torn off a strip to see how it looks with other things. So what's, oh okay, so that's a nice big doily look. Oh, that's lovely. So that one, I won't cut it up. I'll use it like I said, wrap around for something. So maybe, you know, well, anything, book cover, needle case, start of a journal, anything like that. But I will actually, yeah, I'll definitely use the whole thing, keep it intact. And that one's nice as well. Really soft, this one, because it's had lots and lots of washing. But very nice. And that kind of brings in the white a little bit, doesn't it? Because it's not quite cream, but it's quite a dark, dirty white. This one, look. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Love it, love it. Really nice. But again, you know, to make proper use of it, it might be that it always needs that behind it. Isn't that gorgeous? Love those. What else do we have here? Oh, strange actually. Not sure. Okay. So this pink, I think when I first saw it, it was that way around, but I can see it has some pink on it. And this, normally I would never put pink and red together or anything, but it's, I don't know, it's closer to that than it is other pinks really, isn't it? It's not a pink. So that's why that's in there. Oh, tiny little bird, look, that's nice. What's that little bit? So this is how I go about it anyway. I tend to sort of, you know, lay things out. I wonder if I have, oh I do, look. Okay, so I do have a little blank here. So what I will very often do is I'll make up some of these blanks just in various sizes. You know, when I have the time and the inclination, I'll just make up, I don't know, 4 or maybe 6 of them. And then they're ready to use when I just want an evening of, you know, dotting things around. So all these bits here, look, they just go so nicely on it. What's this one? Ah, so that's the right size for a book cover or a journal cover or something on its own, isn't it? Or some sort of tray cloth or something. Maybe it was really, it's very soft, really lovely, really lovely. What else? Ah, my French piece, which I've shown you before in a video or 2. Love it. It's falling apart, but I still love it. And this is the one where, because it's damask there, this is the front of it, which is really, really faded, as you can see, and this is the back of it. And I actually love both. Really faded. These bits here, look. I like that again. I like this. I'll probably put that on something where, you know, you can see that it's been sewn and repaired, and it's just lovely, isn't it? Lovely. But I also love the back colour. Yeah. Okay, so you can just stay there. A couple of bigger bits. Oh, this one. So this one isn't an old piece. Moda. So it's a modern piece, but I think it's probably based on an old design. Don't you think? Old colourways. Absolutely beautiful. So again, it just all goes together really well, doesn't it? And these bits, I will have picked these up over a long time, and then 7 months ago, I think it probably was, I've put them all together into a box, and then I just keep adding things to it. So it just means that I'm sort of creating my own inspiration box, or whatever you'd like to call it. See, that one has a mark on it there. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about that, am I? Because the rest of it is absolutely fine. And what I normally do, if I find a big piece like this, is I'll use that as the base. So I won't cut this up. I'll just use that as the base, put things on it. There's a bit of staining down there as well. What else do I have? It, I mean, already it just looks great, doesn't it? I think so. I love it. And a bit of that one coming down, look. So yeah, you know, I've already in the box, all these pieces go together so well that they're pretty much making themselves, aren't they, these projects? Oh yes. Now you see, no scrap too small. No scrap too small. Again, that could go on there. These look like handles. Yeah, handles off a paper bag, aren't they? So I thought, oh, I know what I thought. Right, so with this, gosh, I could do so many things with it. So you could use it in and out of there. I could weave it in and out, couldn't I? The trouble with that is it would make this very uneven, but that's fine. I could even tear it apart in bits and then do that with it. Or I could use it, you know, as a shape there, and then maybe put buttons or something in the middle of it. Or what else could I do with it? Oh my goodness, loads of things really. Oh, I know, I could put it under, couldn't I? Because sometimes I'll put it under something just to give it that texture, so it's almost like couching. I don't know, there must be a name for it, like couching that on there and then putting some fabric over the top so you get some shapes in it. So I will definitely use those. Ooh, even that one, no scrap too small to be left behind. Only a couple of other things in here then, I think. Oh yes, this one. Oh, again, so this is not quite, it's like pinkish red, isn't it? What would you call it? I tend to just call it the right red. I don't know. But again, see, if you just had a little piece of that in there, that's what I need to do with this one actually, isn't it? Is tear off a strip. Now this, I remember where I got this, and it was covered in paint. I don't think I bought it on its own, but when it was, I think it had something else wrapped in it because it has paint all over it. I just thought, yeah, but there's so much of it that's still good. It's grubby around here, look. Paint, paint, paint. But there's, you know, a fair amount of that, I'd say, that's still usable, wouldn't you? Even if it's just, you know, the dog that you want, or the poor children. Oh, look, there, those are nice, aren't they? So all of there, lots and lots of bits on there that I will definitely use. We're getting to the bottom now. Oh, this, I probably, to be fair, ought to take this out, because although this goes colourways, I won't ever, it's like one of those kind of bits that I'll use as a tablecloth, but I think it's one of those kind of runners, anyway, old French one, I believe, but colour-wise it goes, but I won't ever use this in that or use those on top of this, so I ought to put it elsewhere, because I won't know, well, now I won't know where to find it, will I? I'll always remember it's in this box. Won't know what I've done with it afterwards. So, oh yes, I wanted to show you, didn't I, what I've done so far. So, just by placing things around like this, as I say, that this is your inspiration box. This is everything you need. I mean, I could make, I don't know, excuse me. I could make several things out of this. I only have one base there, but then there's another one that I've made. These I'd already sort of had with it as well. So, you know, you could probably make, I don't know, between half a dozen and a dozen pieces. So this one was just a little needle case that I was making. So I've literally, there's nothing on here that's not in here, apart from this backing here. I love this. This is one of those, it's like a tray cloth or something that's already, somebody has halved it and edged it there. So I guess they just wanted half for something else, which is fine, because what I will do is, when I've finished all the outside, which I think I pretty much have, I wanted to be able to do that so that the stitching in here I can then cover up with something else. So later on I will take maybe a piece of fabric like this, because this is absolutely fine, this fabric. It does have some linen in it, but it's not 100% linen. So I was going to put something like that, make another you know, piece like this, and it's, to be honest, I know it might seem a bit wasteful, but I'll make it as an actual big pocket like that, and then just stitch it the whole way along there. It won't be wasteful, because it means then that I'll have other pockets to use. So like in this one, that comes over like that. So this I will stitch down here as a pocket, which is fine, but then if I have this as well, then it means I have another pocket at least, or maybe, so I'll have this piece of the pocket, won't I? That inside there is a pocket, and that one there. So I'll actually have sort of 3 pockets then by doing that. This was so nice to stitch onto. Really, really nice, this one. So you can see how simple it is. Really, really simple. If I'm making cases or anything like that, I do like to decorate the back. Maybe not as much as the front, but I do like to decorate it quite well. Don't be stingy and just do the front piece, because you will regret it later. It's just so much nicer to see, to use and whatever, isn't it, if you've done the back as well. So on this one, you can see it's mainly strips. And this, again, you know, I don't tend to, not everything in here, well, nothing in here is ironed that I've done. And sometimes it's lovely to have these little bits, isn't it, that you can use as sort of texture. So that was my first one. That was my second one that I did. So again, I just started off with this piece here that I made ages ago. And then it's really easy. I always leave one side open, she says. Now it's not. Oh, it's because I've stitched it up afterwards. Yeah, so I leave one side open like this, just with pins in. And then all your stitching is nice and neat in there. And then sew this up afterward. So I've sewn it up on the edge there, look. But what does that need? That really just needs a button or something, doesn't it? What have I got here? Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it? Colour-wise, look. See that one? I've shown you this one before and I've said that that's really just, you know, to keep things in until I need them. So I think that's beautiful. That's really lovely on that red. I think that does it justice. That's really nice. This one, look, as you can see, was just a little kind of a plique piece. Again, is there anything? No, okay, so this, I obviously only had that amount because that definitely came from this box originally. And it's not particularly how I'd like it, but I'm not going to take it out. I just want to do a few stitches around here just to highlight the shape of the flower. And that's not my best work at all. The stitch is just far too big, but that's okay. I don't think it ruins it. It just doesn't make it all that much better, that's all. So that's what I'll do with that one. I'll sew that on there and I'll take this around to the back just because I like things that wrap around. And then I'll probably put a small tie maybe on the back there to bring it round. Or I might not even, does it really need? Depends what I do with it, doesn't it? If it's just a needle case or whatever, it probably doesn't need actually sort of tying or buttoning down. So that's pretty much done. Yeah, that one there. So what, I could use that one there. Look, that's nice on it, isn't it? Let's see. That's quite nice. I like it because it's sort of old gold, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. What do you think? Is that doing that little piece justice? All I will do on that one, because it's just a brooch, is I will actually, besides attaching it with the pin back there, I will actually put a few stitches in between these, because that's liable to come off otherwise, isn't it? But I think that's okay. What else? They're quite wintry colours, aren't they, these? I really like them. We are still in winter here in the UK. But what else then do I want? I could have some buttons down here maybe. Oh, I tell you what I have got. I just spotted something in here. Can you see that little buckle there? Let's see what that's like when it's out. Might be a little bit too big. Oh, it's quite nice, isn't it? Because that's calling out for some of this through it, isn't it? Okay. So I need some more of that red, this one here. See what that's like. Oh, it could go there actually, couldn't it? I've stitched this one down already, but that's okay because, yeah, all I will do, I think, is pop that through and twist it a little bit. Yeah, I want that bit to not show in the middle, but I want this bit here. Okay, scissors. Oh yes, I have my basket. I confess to you that I haven't actually emptied that basket of, what did I have? About, I don't know, 25 pairs or something, didn't I? I've not actually gotten rid of any of those yet. Oh look, right, okay, these don't really work. Not on fabric, anyway. So I might I might be able to get rid of that one pair. It's because I've already stitched that one down. Look, I'll just put in another piece and pop it on top. Or it could go there. It could go that way. Nice though, isn't it? Very nice. I like that one. Do I need something underneath it? Possibly. That I could put some of that underneath it. Look, maybe just a piece like that. Why bother using scissors that work when you can use these ones that are rubbish? Hey, honestly, sometimes I amaze myself, and not in a good way. Okay, so that's quite nice on there, isn't it? So I could just end it off like that. That one I need to put the button on. This one, okay, so this is one that's less done, but I wasn't so keen. Got this bit on the bottom, look, and I just didn't like this. I still don't. So I think what I might do then, so let's use this one instead. Okay. That'd be like that. What's that doing? That's supposed to be going around like that, isn't it? So let's get that one like that. Do you quite often have a look at something and then a few days later decide it's not really working for you? I definitely do that. I mean, I purposefully leave things a few days a lot of the time. So that was all we had on the back. That one going round. This one was on top, which looked okay. And this one, see, you hardly noticed that one up underneath, did you? But it just gave it a break, really. So I had that one going up there. That one underneath. Right, these pins aren't in the right place, are they? Okay. So that one and that one is, for some reason, it's so much more difficult, isn't it? Trying to put things down again a second time than the first time. But that's okay. So that one in there. That one over there. I'll have some of that nice edging definitely showing because I really do like that one. I think that's too far out. That's my problem. Right. That one. That one. That one. So this one, instead of having... There we are. Instead of having this on the bottom, maybe one of these. Oh, that's just a much better colour, isn't it? Right. So I'll still have this. Again, this is just a strip. So I could have that going along there with that on it. Or I could use this one. This one actually has a gap. To be fair, that means that these three now are quite similar, aren't they? But I don't think it matters, do you? If you like one, you like them all. If you hate one, you hate them all, obviously, but you know. So that can just go on there then with that. So that's how I just build things up. But honestly, I'm not just saying this, 100 times easier. Hopefully you can see it's 100 times easier when you have everything in a box that all goes together to start with. It just means you can sit down, or I can sit down of an evening and I can just literally play with these bits. And although I hadn't finished this one, you know, I was able in one evening just to play with them, pin them all down. I got those two sewn, didn't I? This was the one that I didn't because I wasn't 100% happy with it. But yeah, for me, it really works. Now, the only other thing that I wanted to show you was I've put in the bottom of here, look. You go there, you go there. I've put in the bottom of here to remind me, oh yeah, now he's dropped off, right, to remind me that I have these bits in the kitchen at the minute. They're going through, I'm trying to, you know, age them, soften them up, so, you know, loads of different ways of doing it, aren't there, but I've actually got some bits soaking, so I thought I would do it a little bit more methodically so that I could show you. So these are my original bits, but the reason this is in here is because when I was when I had these in my hand earlier, I think that colour goes really nicely, don't you? That teal. And this one, I've ripped off a piece of this to keep in this box because I think that's a great colour with it. So I don't know that I'll use it immediately, but I wanted to put a piece of that in this box to remind me for next time. So I hope that was useful. Really, my cardboard box, I cannot speak more highly of these cardboard boxes because I have a lot more items that are, you know, in other things that would go that are similar colours. But for me, keeping it in this size, it's really funny. If I have a great big basket or box of things, then I can, again, it's just a bit overwhelming. You know, like I said, this bit goes with it, doesn't it? And this bit goes with it. You know, there are lots of other things that have that go, but when it's all together, it's just too much to look at. It actually stops me getting to the end of a project because I just find I'm faffing so much. I really, really am. So the other thing I might do in here is, and it probably sounds a bit silly, but you know, like when I have books and things that go, then I might just put that in there as well, because it just reminds me of how lovely this red with this sort of, this old gold is more like a brassy colour, isn't it? So to me, that really, you know, that's worthwhile putting in there. And again, that colour with it, look, it's beautiful. I love it. I really love it. So a lot of things I put together purely for inspiration, keep them in there, and then when it comes to the job of putting things together, it makes it 100 times easier. And look, I think they're pretty good. And also, I know it's lovely because I have enough to do those, and I also have lots left. So win-win, wouldn't you say? Join me next time if you'd like to see how I did with these pieces. All right, and again, that was just a nice way of, you know, a nice little, is it serendipity? Is that the word? Happy accident? Just nice. I happen to be holding these and going to show you these. I just thought, yeah, it goes. So this for next time. Let me know. You know, try this out. Tell me if it's something you already do, and if you don't, try it out and just tell me how it works for you. All right. Thank you for joining me. Bye.